What is going on, everyone? This is Eric coming at you from just outside of Hartford, Connecticut, and today we're going to be discussing the Donovan McNabb trade, which occurred back on April 4th, 2010. Now, if you're a longtime fan of this channel, you'll remember that back in the summer of 2020, I did discuss this trade before. However, I have since changed the format for how I do trade breakdowns. This one is going to be a lot easier to follow than that one was, but if you're feeling adventurous, it will be linked in the description below. Anyway, this trade was between the Washington football team and the Philadelphia Eagles, and saw Washington acquire their rival quarterback, Donovan McNabb, from the Eagles in exchange for a pair of draft picks. Now, this trade occurred because Philadelphia had recently signed Michael Vick, and he had done well after McNabb had gotten hurt the prior year, and they felt that Michael Vick was their future quarterback. So how did this trade work out for the two teams? We'll start by looking at the Washington football team, who got quarterback Donovan McNabb. Now, McNabb had a rocky season. In week 2, he would throw for 426 yards, but the team would lose. After this week, McNabb continued to regress, and by the middle of the season, he did ink a larger extension, somewhat surprisingly. But that was because he was piling on the yards. By week 15, the team had decided that they had seen enough and they benched him. And he ended the year with a 5-8 record, but he did throw for 3,377 yards and 14 touchdowns. However, he had 15 interceptions. Now, had he played a full 16-game season, he was actually on pace to break the Washington franchise record for most yards in a single season. So there's that. However, the team decided that they wanted to go in a different direction, so they would trade him to the Minnesota Vikings in exchange for a 2012 6th-round pick. This would become the 173rd pick and was used to select running back Alfred Morris. Now, Morris surprisingly won the starting job of running back as a rookie, and he had a great rookie season. As a rookie, Morris set the franchise record by rushing for 1,613 yards, while adding 13 touchdowns. His 13 touchdowns on the ground set a Washington franchise rookie record for most rushing touchdowns. Now, he had another strong year in 2013, rushing for 1,275 yards with 7 touchdowns, and he followed that up with another solid year in 2014, rushing for 1,074 yards and 8 touchdowns. 2015, however, was a down year. Washington's rushing offense just struggled immensely, and the team added 2 new rookie running backs, and this caused Morris to regress in 2015. He would only record 751 yards with a single touchdown. Seeing the writing on the wall, Morris decided to walk as a free agent, but he left the team with 2 Pro Bowls and a one-time first-team All-Pro selection. So Washington got a better player in the draft pick that they got from McNabb than McNabb himself. How did Philadelphia do in this trade? So they got a pair of draft picks. The first one was the 2010 37th overall pick. They would use that to select safety Nate Allen. Now, Allen spent 5 years as a starting safety in Philadelphia. He had a solid start to his career as he recorded an interception in each of his first 2 games. And this would lead to him winning Defensive Rookie of the Month in September. However, that would not stand, as for the rest of the year, all said and done, he combined to record 3 interceptions and 48 tackles. So, yeah, he also had a career-high 2 sacks as a rookie. Now, he had a decent next 3 years, but his coverage was not the best. Now, he re-signed for a 5th year in Philadelphia, and he had a career-high 4 interceptions, as well as recovering 3 fumbles. Now, after that, despite the strong season, at least relatively speaking, he was allowed to walk as a free agent. Now, the Eagles also got a 2011 4th-round pick in exchange for Donovan McNabb. This would become the 104th selection, and they would trade that to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in exchange for a pair of draft picks. The first one was in 2011, the 116th pick. That would be used to select linebacker Casey Matthews. Now, Casey Matthews appeared in all possible 64 games over 4 years in Philadelphia. He earned 15 starts for the team. However, he was mostly a reserve and a special team player, and all said and done, he recorded 114 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, and 2 forced fumbles before he would walk from the team. Now, they also got a 2012 4th-round pick. This would become the 99th overall selection, and this pick was traded away. It was a part of the Nick Foles trade, which has been up for a little bit, so I would definitely check that one out if you're curious what that would become. So that's what Philadelphia and Washington got. How did the other 2 teams do? We'll start with the Minnesota Vikings, who got quarterback Donovan McNabb. So, McNabb, he had an inefficient start to the year. He led the team to a 1-5 record before he was put on the bench. He did have 4 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, but through 6 games, that's not that good. He did rely on Adrian Peterson a lot, though, so there's that. Now, he threw for just over 1,000 yards, and before the season ended, he was actually released in early December, so not the best return. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were the last team involved in this trade, and they got the 104th pick in the 2011 draft. They would use that to select tight end Luke Stoker. Now, Stoker, he actually spent 6.5 years as a solid blocking tight end for the team. He didn't get that involved in the offense as he combined to get 52 catches for 400 yards with 3 touchdowns, but he earned 56 starts as, like I said, he was a great blocking tight end. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was the Donovan McNabb trade breakdown. And again, the old one will be linked in the description below. Have a good rest of your day.